guys, I'm audible. Okay, fine. So yesterday we discussed up to a force view, and force view we studied here without base tables we are creating. But whatever we created force view, the force view is not working here, and it was a dummy table we called. Okay, and now we can go for after created force view. Okay, so we already tested here the force view. Whenever you want to access, it doesn't access your force view because base table, without base table the view cannot be accessible. Why? Because view is a virtual, and otherwise it is called as a subset of a base table. So that's why up to the physical object, okay, whatever it was there here, then only the virtual object will be work. If physical object is going to be dropped or deleted, then your virtual object will not be work. Okay, now so this is what the force view through we can understand. Okay, but here these all views are okay. If you want to see, okay, if you can see it, these all views, then there is one data dictionary is there. So I already send it the copy how to view the all views in your Oracle. Let me see, guys. Okay, so when we view all views, there is a user underscore views data dictionary is that here. In this data dictionary, you can see view name. So up to now, how many views we created? The view name from user underscore views. So these are the views as of now we created. So view 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the first view also we created, right? Now, but any one of the view, suppose you need to see the text, that means the query. So whatever the query we written under view. So the text, the query statement, if you want to see, then there is one more. The column is there. That's called a text column is there here. Okay, now. So now you can go to ask your text from. Okay, so user underscore views. Okay, so now if which one, if you want to see the particular, okay, so view, then we can see where view underscore name is equals to, for example, whatever the view one I created, suppose the view one text I have to see, then I'm passing view one and later to execute now. So in this view one, whatever the query text we written, that means the whatever the select query we written under view one. So the query request we can see it. Okay, now the query request we can see it. So which query request or which query, okay, that means so whatever the query you written, the select statement, whatever you written. So that select query statement I can see by using of your text column. So if you see the text and under user underscore views, you can see your view one, okay, query text information. Okay, like this, any one query you can see, like for example, if I want to go for, suppose I want to send like v4, if I send it, so this v4 query request will be this one. Okay, now so like this you can see your query text information also. Okay, right. And later if you want to drop this views, any view you can drop the same syntax, drop view one. So I can drop it here. Otherwise you can drop drop view f1, you can also drop it. Okay, now or any if it is complex view, so drop view 6, if you want to drop, you can drop it. So all views we can drop it from your database here. So let you see whatever now I dropped here. So that was the V1 is drop and V6 is drop and FV1 is drop. Okay, no? So this is what now the view information guys here, how it was and how we can see it. Okay, and later one more the view is there here. That view is called as what now? Materialized view. The next type of view, materialized view, and this is separate object here, and don't compare with, and it is not a part of view. It is a separate object here, and this object is called as a materialized view. And when you're comparing to what is the differences between view and materialized view? So that kind of the comparisons, if you want to do it here. So the few differences are there in between view and materialized view. Okay, now. So basically, materialized view also same thing, guys. Here. So when we created the materialized view, compulsory. Okay, when I want to create materialized view, so compulsory we should can be materialized view also, or materialized view can be created. So based on base table. So how are you created? How we are created our view based on a base table, the same as materialized view also created based on a base table. Okay, but what is the differences in between view and materialized view means here observe. Materialized view we can call it as here. This is okay. This view will be storing your data. It will be stored data or information. But we know that okay, but view is not storing the data. Okay, that already we said to you. View just for it's a virtual or it is a subset of your base table, and whatever the query you return under view, the select query statement. So through that select query statement, data retrieval from your base table and displaying to users. But view cannot storing the data. Okay, so but materialized view is not like that. Okay, once you created materialized view on a particular base table, so this view compulsory it will be storing here. So materialized views are storing the data and views are not storing that data. And especially materialized views are created by people for storing purpose. Okay, for storing purpose, it will be created. And this view, why and how it was created means materialized view is not a subset, is not a virtual, it is a independent object. It is an independent object. But whereas your view is called as a dependency object. Whereas your view is called as a dependency object. So why we call views a dependency means once the base table, that means on which table are you created your view. Suppose the base table, when I go to drop the base table, then automatically your view will not be accessible or your view will not be working. Okay, now. So, but materialized view not like that because it is an independent object. Okay, it is getting us only we are taking the base table support, but once it was created, then it doesn't go to depends on your base table, and it is a separate independent object, and separately the data will be stored here. Okay, now. So, and one more thing is what now? Once you drop your base table, that means on which table are you created your materialized view. So, if the table is dropped, but still your materialized view will not be affected. That means I can access my materialized view. I can access my materialized view. Okay, now so that is one difference. Okay, in come to view and materialized view. So what I'm thinking the third point, when we drop a base table, okay, what it will happen when we drop a base table, view will not be accessible. View will not work. Okay, whereas whereas materialized view will work. Materialized view will work even though once you drop your base table. Okay, no? That is what One more very important point. Okay. And the next one is completely materialized view is a purely, okay, it doesn't support a DML operation. So materialized views are not allowed, okay, DML operations. But whereas, okay, views are supported because simple views are supported. Na? So views are partially supported with DML operations. Okay, but materialized views are not supported. So views are supporting DML operations. So the DML operations I can perform through view. Okay, already we discussed in the simple view category. We can perform your DML operation, but materialized view is completely, it doesn't supporting any DML operations. Okay, na? So these are the differences, guys, here in between view and materialized view. Okay, so first one is what now? Materialized view also created just like a view with the help of base table. So that is a common point. Okay. But later, once materialized view is created, then it will be storing the data, but view doesn't store the data. Materialized view is called an independent object, but view is called as a dependency object. Once we drop main table or base table, still materialized views are working, but views are not working. Okay, na? And materialized view completely, it doesn't supporting DML operations, but views are supporting DML operations. Okay, na? So these are the differences, guys, here when you comparing with the view and the materialized view. So these materialized view, whenever we want to create, okay, so whenever we created materialized view, so what is the syntax for creating materialized view here? Observe. So create materialized view and view name. Okay, so as usual, remaining body will be same. Select, same as view syntax only, but we are just adding the statement of a materialized view statement. Okay, right. Now, this is what the syntax of materialized view. Okay, fine. And let me see the example. We will see that the comparison of view and materialized view, we will see practically, then we will get some idea. What is the differences here? Okay, let me come back here. So guys, here observe first of all. Okay, these are my tables in our database. Fine. And now I'm creating one table. The table name is the test 11. Suppose in the test 11, so normally I will take some columns. So serial number and some name column I will take. The test 11, okay, was successfully created. Is the one base table we created, guys. After created the test 11 table, now we can see it. On this table, test 11, now I try to create it. First of all, a view I'm creating now. So I'm creating a view. Create view. Okay, so SV1. Okay, so we take view 11 as select star from test 11. So I will created a normal view. So the view is successfully created. Okay, fine. But same as on this test 11, materialized view name. So suppose MV1, okay, as select star from test number 11. So same as that. So I already set you materialized view also. Whenever you create it, we must and should be required a base table. So with the help of base table, materialized view also create just like view. Okay, now. But later it will be different procedures will be having. So view having different procedure and materialized view having different procedure. But at the time of creation level, both are going to be created, okay, based on base table. Now we can see I'm going to create it now. But whenever you want to create a materialized view, here one error is showing us. What is that? The table test 11 does not contain a primary key constant. So does not contain a primary key constant. So that means materialized view, whenever you create it on table. So now in your table, if any one column, okay, should have a primary key. So now primary key constant is not there, it was still. Okay, fine. Now I'm going to adding my primary key on any one column here. Okay. So how we can add it guys here? Alter table, table name, add constant and constant key. So serial number underscore pk and later on primary key of serial number column. So now I'm going to execute this one. So now your table is altered. That means your primary key successfully added to your serial number column of test 11 table. And after adding primary key, later I will be created my materialized view. Then you can see. So materialized view successfully created. Okay, materialized view successfully created. So now finally, after created table and view and materialized view, just I'm calling those things. Okay, so first one is called as the test 11. Okay, and no rows because I didn't send any data, yes, and V11, and the next one is called as a MV1. So yes, okay, fine. The view materialized view is created on your test 11 table. But once you created guys here, carefully observe. If I want to call my table, select a star from fine. Okay, and the view 11 is created a view. But guys, can you identify here whatever the materialized view I'm creating MV1? Okay, so whatever the materialized view is created, then you can see guys here view 11 it will be showing as a view, but materialized view is it was showing as a what? Table. Guys, are you identified here? Are you identified here? So view is going to V11. V11 it is showing as a what? View. But materialized view, okay, MV1 is showing as a not a view. It was showing as a what? It is a table object. That means that's why it is called as it is an independent object. Okay, but view is a dependency object, and view is a virtual of your base table. But materialized view is not a virtual. It is also one type of physical object. So that's why whenever you want to see in your tab list after materialized view creation, you can go and check your tab list. In your tab list, what it was showing as here, it was showing as a table. It's not view. MV1, it was showing as a table. Understand now? Right. So that's why the people called as it is an independent object. It is also one type of table in your database. Okay, right. So now finally, okay, yeah, come out guys here. So view base table test 7, but there is no information in the base table. There is no information in the view and MV1 also. Okay. For example, suppose if I want to insert some data, insert into test 11, sending value, serial number 1021, and some name is I'm passing LN. So this information I'm passing into my base table. Okay, now I'm inserting data into base table. When I was inserted data into base table, the one row is successfully created. After created the one row, let you see guys here. Your base table, you will be check out here. Yes, it will be showing your data into base table. And base table, the dependency of it is what now? View. The view also immediately reflecting into view also. But whenever I'm calling guys here, let's start from MV1 if I'm calling now. So what it will happen, you can see the data will not be showing in this. So carefully focus it. Carefully focus it. Okay. So what happened? When I'm going to inserting some data into my base table, okay. So the data I can see in the base table and immediately that will be reflecting into view table. That means view 11. Because we know view is a virtual of your base. But can you see guys here, when I call my MV1, MV1 is not showing the data. And still it was saying no rows are selected. Okay. So why sir, view is immediately reflecting your data, whatever we did on base table, that information immediately it was reflected into my view. The reason is what now? Because view is a dependency object and view is a subset of your base table. Otherwise, view is a virtual of your base table. So that is the reason immediately it will be affected. But what we said, MV materialized view is not a dependency now, is not a virtual now, it's not a subset now, it is a separate independent object. So that's why whenever you did any kind of modification on the base table, that will not immediately affected on your materialized view. That will not immediately affected on your materialized view. Okay. So then what we want to do to view or see the data in the materialized view, how I can see the data into materialized view means, okay, there are two methods and mechanisms are there, guys. So what is that called as? What is that called as? The refresh methods are there. Refresh. Okay, refreshing methods. So whenever we want to see the data, whenever we want to view the data into materialized view, then directly I can't see it. Directly I can't view it. Then what we want to do, sir, means there is some refreshing methods we have it here. With the help of the refresh methods, then I can view the data in my materialized view. Okay, so now here two types of refresh methods we have it here. One is we called as a on-demand method. Second one is called as an on-commit method. So these are called as the refresh methods. And in this refresh method, on-demand method, okay, is called as a default method, guys. Here, this is called as a default method. Okay, so this method, whenever I want to use, so we have some syntaxes there. So what is the syntax for this? Okay, I'm using syntax execute dbms underscore mview dot refresh of some method name. Okay, it is called as a materialized view name. Materialized view name. Okay, now right. So here, sir, what is this execute and what is this dbms underscore mview and what is this refresh means? Actually, dbms underscore mview is called as a stored procedures, guys. dbms underscore mview is called as a stored procedure. Okay, now this is called as a stored procedure. So whenever we want to executing a stored procedure, so the procedures can be executed with the help of execute statement. And this is completely related to Plsql language. Okay, still we are not discussing stored procedures, right? Because stored procedures is a part of PLSQL language. So after 1 week, we are entering into PLSQL. Okay, now at the time you can check it out. So DBMS underscore MView is called one predefined stored procedure. So those stored procedure help, with the help of that stored procedure, I can refresh my materialized view. And for the refreshing purpose, we are using one method. The method name is called a refresh method. The method name is called as a refresh method. Okay. So with the help of this PLSQL stored procedure through, we are going to be refreshing our materialized view. This is on demand and it's a default we call. And let me see. I want to use that was okay in my database now. Still, your materialized view is not showing any kind of information. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to execute dbms underscore mview dot refresh of. So your materialized view mv1 I'm passing. So once I just refresh it, now we can see PLSQL procedure successfully completed. So that's why this statement this is completely belongs to PLSQL language here. Okay, so this procedure we are using that. Okay, so that's why you're showing PLSQL procedure is successfully completed. Now, after that, after refreshing your materialized view, then you can call MV1, then your data will be showing. So all of you getting my point now? So what I'm saying, guys, here, directly whatever the operations you perform on your base table. So the base table operations, whatever you perform, that was not immediately reflecting into materialized view, but that was immediately reflecting into views, but materialized views are not reflecting immediately. So that's why we need to refresh our materialized view. So how to refresh your materialized view means by using of on-demand method. This is one way to refreshing our materialized view. Okay, now this is a one way we are going to be refreshing materialized view. Okay, now in the second case is what now? In the second case is what now we can observe. In the second case, what now means on demand is the first one, and now second one is called as on commit. Second one is called as on commit method. So on commit method, this is the second method to whenever you want to refresh your materialized view. Okay, now? So in this, what it was happening, guys, here. Okay, so whenever you created your materialized view, along with materialized view, we should use a commit command. We should use already we discussed commit. So what is here? Commit command we should use. So how the syntax will be there here also. Create materialized view, and I'm passing here view name. Okay, materialized view, I'm passing view name, and here I'm passing refresh on commit. Refresh on commit, and as so your query will be written like select query. So this is the second syntax here, that is on commit statement. So that means whenever we created a materialized view, so this on commit method we should be use it at the time of view creation, materialized view creation. So now here after that, let me see one example. We will take it on this. Suppose again you can observe I'm creating my table. So the second table test number 12. Suppose EID and I have primary key. Okay, some e name. Okay, I'm passing. Now table as usual created and as selected star from test number 12. Okay, so create create view number 12 as select star from test number 12. View is created. Now I'm going to create in here materialized view. materialized view MV2 as select star from text number 12. Okay, then materialized view also created. So after that, same as here, let you come back to see your tables. There is no information in the table. Select star from text number 12. There is no information in the table. And of course, when there is no information, automatic view also nothing will be showing us. And of course, MV2 also nothing will be showing us. Okay, now. So this is what now the things. Okay, so view, materialized view, and the table. So there is no information into that. Later, same as this, if I'm going to insert that, we are insert into the text number 12 and sending some values here. Okay, suppose 101, some name I'm passing here. Okay, so that will be inserted into table. What we said, select the star from text number 12. If I want to execute, that will be there. And then you see in your view 12 also immediately reflected that. But your materialized view, so MV2, if I'm going to show, then it is not reflected. Then how to see the data into materialized view means, so MV2 I was created, materialized view I was created with the what method I was created means I was created this materialized view number 2 with the on commit method I was created. No, we are creating with the on. Where is it here? Yeah. So we are created. Okay. Materialized view. Normally I created. Okay. Normally I created. I just go to stop it here, guys. 1 second. I'm dropping materialized view. Okay, fine. And I'm going to truncate my table also. Okay, so confused. Yes. Let me come out, guys. Here. So your table again. I will come out here. Test number 12. Okay, this is my table. So on this table, we created view 12. Okay, but no rows, nothing was. Now I'm creating materialized view. So create materialized view. Okay, and view name is MV2. Create material view name is MV2, and here I want to send refresh on commit. So the syntax is follow. Refresh on commit as query I was written select the star from text number 12. Text number 12. Okay, fine. Then materialized view is created. But still, materialized view, whenever I call MV2, but there is no information. Okay, now? Right. Now I'm going to inserting some data into my text number 12. Okay, let me see. So I'm inserting insert into text 12 value 101. Some name I'm passing here. Sorry. Then immediately that row can be seen in my text number 12. Immediately I can see it. And immediately that will be reflected in my view also. But whenever I want to view the materialized view number 2, then it is not showing us. So here, what we want to do it means, yes, here, if I want to view whatever the data we are inserting into base table, so the data, if I want to view into materialized view, then here, in this case, what I want to use here, I want to use commit. Committed. So let me see that the data, can I see into materialized view number 2? Yes. So 101 size. Okay, now 101 size, so I can do it. In the same pattern, guys, here, for example, we need to update text number 12. Okay, set For example, name is equal to, I'm changing here Adam. Okay. So where EID is equal to 101. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to updating on my base table. Okay, 101, so one row is updated successfully. But whenever you want to call the test number 12, that updation name will be showing us. And the same thing when I want to call it here, the view 12 is also immediately showing us. But when I'm calling materialized view number 2, then you can see still it was showing Sai. Still it was showing Sai. Now the Sai want to replace with Adams. Okay, how that updated information, how I can see. Okay, na? Updated information, how you can see in the materialized view means compulsory. Again, you have to do commit statement. When you committed, then only the updated statement or updated image can see materialized view. So Adams. Okay, na? Point understanding now? Right. So in the same to same, suppose I'm going to delete them. Delete from test 2, so where EID is equals to 101. If I'm going to delete it here, then that was deleted from your base table test number 12. Okay, there is no row, and that was immediately affected in my view also. Okay, but when you want to call your materialized view number 2, then data still it was there. Data still it was there. Okay, data still it was there. So, but this information, if I want to refresh, if I refresh materialized view, then refresh means the second method is what now? Commit. If I committed, then only the data will be not going into your materialized view. Then data refreshing key. Okay, na? So these are the two things, guys, here. The view and what we can say materialized view. Two refreshing methods we have it. One is on demand method, that is a default method, and second one is on commit method. Okay. For example, one thing. Suppose we don't have it any information in this table, right? That's number 12. There's nothing. View 12, there is nothing. And MB2 is also nothing. Suppose at the time of along with suppose I'm inserting into text number 11, sending values. So 1 and some name is, for example, word, if I'm giving now. So see here, along with the operation, immediately if I was committed, so that's number 11. That's number 12 now. That's number 12. Sending values. Okay. So now I'm passing 1 comma word I'm passing. After that, immediately if I'm using commit, what it was happening, you can see if I'm using commit, then you can call your base table, you can call data is there, and view table you can call data is showing, and materialized view also you can see. Can I directly view it? So why sir directly I can view means here along with after inserting, that means along with insertion only we did a commit. Along with insertion only we did a commit. So that's what happened. That was immediately I can see in my materialized view object. Okay, na? Right. But here what I said, suppose you can see in this case, suppose if I want to drop table test number 12. Suppose once I drop it this table, okay, permanently I'm dropping. So whenever test number 12 is dropped, then on the test number 12, whatever the view is stated view 12, the view 12 will not be accessed. So view cannot be accessed. But the same thing when I'm going to calling my materialized view MV2 is going to be accessible. So MV2 is going to be accessible and data also there. But guys, here the material, that main table, the base table already permanently I dropped here. Base table already permanently I dropped here. Okay, now. But after dropping your base table, of course, the view doesn't work. The view doesn't work. But materialized view still it is working and data is going to be showing. By seeing of this example, what you understand, guys, here, your materialized view storing the data. Come on, guys. Your materialized view storing the data. Yes or no, guys? Okay. Yes, materialized views storing the data. Because even though even though your base table was permanently we dropped, your base table, but still on the base table, whatever we created materialized view, that materialized view still it was there, still it was accessing, still it was working. And one more thing is what now, data also showing. Data why it is showing means, I said materialized views are storing your information. Views are not storing the data, but materialized views are storing the data. And here one more very important thing is what now, guys, here. Suppose whenever you want to drop your page table, text number 12 we dropped here. Text number 12 we dropped here. There is no text number 12 table. But text number 12 is dropped, but still view 12 is there. So that means somebody is, so many people, they're thinking that once they drop your base table, then automatically view also drop. Okay, somebody thinking like that. Okay, somebody thinking that. So when once we drop your base table, then automatically your view also drop. But that was not right. Okay, so once you drop your base table, view will not be drop, but view will be not working. We will be not working position. Okay, view will not drop, but view not. Understand now? So that is a, so view 12 still it was there. But view 12 still it was there. But whenever you want to call view 12, it is not working. It is not working. Why? Because the related base table we dropped here. Okay. And even though base table, if you drop that MV1 is not affected, so MV1 is a separate independent table. So now if you want to come back and call it here MV number 2, so still it was having this. That's why materialized views are storing the data we call. Okay, na? Right. So this is the differences of view and materialized view. And suppose some people are asking, sir, already already in your table we have a data, we are storing the data in tables. Then materialized view, why we want materialized views are just like a backup tables. Okay, just like a backup. And now, guys, here, for example, why we need a backup, guys, here? Why are you keeping backup? Backup advantage is what now? Is there any advantage to keep it backup? Come on, guys. What is the advantage of backup? Yeah. Suppose if any, unfortunately, your original data will be dropped here or deleted here or missing here, then if you have a backup, then we can go to restoring that backup. Yes or no? So that is a generally backup advantage. So materialized view also like a backup of your table. Suppose in my main table, if anything is happened, that I can see in my materialized view. That means alternative table, this is called. This is called an alternative table. So if in your base table, suppose you can see, now test number 12 table is dropped, test number 12 table is deleted. But in the test number 12, whatever the data is there, the data I can see in my MV2 with the help of materialized view. So materialized view, why the people are created means they're going to be keeping their information under materialized view for like a backup purpose. For like a backup purpose. Okay, na? So this is the purpose of your materialized view. Any query you can write along with materialized view creation. The select query result, the select query whatever you written along with your materialized view, the query result will be storing into one particular table, and the table is called a MV2, and that will be saved here. And whenever you can see that query result, then I can call my materialized view and that I can see it. So likewise, you can use your materialized views. Okay, fine. And later, these materialized views, suppose if you want to see, then we have one data dictionary. The data dictionary is called as the user underscore MViews. User underscore MViews, here it will be there. So in this, the materialized view, if I want to view, so I can go to this one and select materialized view from user underscore MViews. Okay, fine. So whatever I created, MView1 and MView2, that I can see it now. Okay, now, and after that, suppose you need to drop materialized view and view name MView1. So you can go to successfully drop it here. Okay, now. So this is one small topic, the materialized view in our SQL language. Okay, right. And the next one is I see here. The next topic is okay. Table partitions. Table partitions. So partition tables or table partitions report. So basically the partition tables or table partitions. Okay, so when we want to require and what purpose we want to use this partition tables or table partitions means. For example, first of all, general example I will show you guys here. Generally, for example, you can see, suppose are you going to, if you want to take any one small example, okay, like so many examples we have it like partitions why we want to means, for example, libraries are there. Suppose you can go to any library. So in library, if you want to identify what it was happening as here, so every book, that means whatever the books or whatever the books are there in the library, so those books are, they will be arranging into a particular order, one systematical manner. They're going to be arranging their books in libraries. So why, sir, why they're going to be arranging the books in a particular way? Suppose some history related books are they're keeping in one particular rack. Some geographical books, okay, that was keeping into one particular rack. Okay, some other books. Okay, so that means that different related or different types of books they're going to be keeping, or they're just going to be kept into particular racks. So in such a way, if they want to kept here, then what is the advantage of the users means? They can easily pick which related book, either you want it geographically, or you want it a history level books, or you wanted some other things. So whatever you wanted, directly we are going to the particular rack and we are going to be pick our book. Yes or no? So that is somewhat easy process. Like nowadays you can see supermarkets. If you go to supermarkets also, so they're going to be arranging the items in a particular systematical order. For example, completely chocolates. Chocolates are having into one particular rack. What we can say biscuits, one particular rack. Some other items, some particular racks. So they're dividing. Okay, the items into particular racks here. So why they want to maintain like this means the customers can easily they can take the required products from the particular places without taking much time. Okay, in the same to same guys here. For example, nowadays if you go to suppose one example I'm telling you. What is my example? Suppose one musical video shop is there, for example. musical video shop. So the musical video shop, okay, what it was going to be maintained, those people, okay, the musical shop here, okay, so they are going to be maintained here, okay, the musical shop is there. In this shop, for example, in this shop, okay, there are different languages of DVDs or CDs, okay, whatever it is, those things are there. Different languages, DVDs or CDs, whatever. So DVDs, for example, okay, DVDs are they're going to be maintained. But the shopkeeper, what he was going to do, all languages, okay, movie, okay, all languages, movie DVDs are, he was keeping under one particular rack. He was keeping under one particular rack. So this is simple, I can say, a rack. In one rack, so the rack was not partitioned here. All are going to be, okay, kept into one rack without having any systematical order. So now what happened? Telugu language related DVDs are the movie DVDs. So Hindi, we have it here. Okay, English related movies, we have it here. So Hindi related movies, Hindi language, English language, like okay, Tamil language, Tamil, okay, okay, so different languages we have it. So all languages movie DVDs are, they was kept into one single rack, but there is no particular order. All are having in the one single rack, but there is no particular order. So when the shopkeeper, he was going to be maintain their DVDs, their movie DVDs, okay, in such a way, the problem is what now here observe. For example, one customer is came. So one Telugu customer, he came to your shop. The Telugu customer, he came to your shop. And the Telugu customer is asking, I wanted Telugu language DVD movies. I wanted Telugu language movies. The shopkeeper will say, so go to right and take left. There one rack is there. So in the rack, okay, your languages movies are there. So what happened? As per your shopkeeper, the Telugu person will go to the direction and he will come to rack. When we come to rack, what it was happened in this rack, there is no systematical maintenance. No? There is no systematical what we can say maintain. So what it was happened guys here, he want to searching this entire the rack will be searching. The rack will be searching. So whenever he was searching for his required language, what Telugu language, but for the Telugu language movies purpose, so he need to searching entire the rack because of reason that all languages movie DVDs are in one rack and all are mixed. There is no systematical arrangement. So in such a way, the customer will go to check entire the rack. And whenever you want to check entire the rack for your required language purpose, so it's lot of time consuming process. Searching time will be more. When time is more, then accessing is also very slow because we need to search enter the rack. So time consuming and retrieving or taking or picking your language DVDs. Okay, it is very slow, time consuming. Automatically the customer burden is a burden of okay, it's a burden to customer, yes or no? So customer is also getting some burden. Okay now, so in such a cases, okay, there are so many drawbacks are there if you maintain in your shop like this. Suppose other language persons came, for example, suppose other language customer is came, he was Hindi language customer is came, so he wanted Hindi DVD movies. Then again he will come to rack. Again he have to search entire the rack. So like this, what happened guys here? If any language DVD, okay, or movie DVD, if I want it, then I need to go the rack and search entire the table. So this is time consuming and the retrieval the required language or required movie DVD is a very difficult and slow performance and burden also increases. Okay, now. So if you maintain like this, what it was happening, guys, here, there is no customer will come to you. There is no customer will come to you. Okay, there is no customer will come to you. So then what it was happened, then shopkeeper, what he was did here, so he was going to be identified. So what is the problem in my shop? Why customer is not coming to my shop? So he was analyzing. After analysis, he get some idea. So the problem, he was identified the problem. So what is the problem here? We are not maintain proper, okay, systematical way to our products. So that's why customers are coming and there are a lot of confusions. So that's why what he was going to do, let me see change, my maintenance will be changed now. So now the same rack is there, but what he was going to do, the rack will be divided into particular partitions. Okay, here partition is nothing but what, guys, here a small piece. Okay, partition is nothing but a small pieces. So this entire the rack, what he was did, he was divided into three partitions. So this is partition number one, and this is partition number two, and this is partition number three. So they divided into three partitions, P1, P2, and P3. Okay. So after dividing like this here, then he was keeping their languages. So Telugu related movie DVDs are storing under into first rack. Okay, this is Telugu related movie DVDs are kept into first rack. Next, Hindi language movies are kept into second rack. Then English movies, okay, English language movies are kept into third rack. So whenever you was systematically divided, okay, for your languages and keeping your language DVDs in particular partitions wise like this, then what it was called as a maintenance will be very good. Then when it was having like this, suppose if one of the customer will come to you, suppose Hindi customer is there. So this Hindi customer will come to your shop and he will come to your rack. Then what it was happening, guys, here, which language he wanted, Hindi language. So that's why he will be go to rack, and in Hindi is a second partition. So immediately this customer, what it was happening, he come to rack and he immediately will go to search a Hindi partition rack only search. That means this part only he was search, only this part. He was searching only this part, and that part data he will be taking. So that means he was taking only, he was directly going to partition P2, but not partition P1, but not partition P3. So that means P1 partition, I don't want to search. P3 partition, I don't want to search because my partition is second. So I will go to directly second partition that is called Hindi language. So there my required DVD I can pick. Suppose in the same to same, the next level, if anybody, so like for example, Telugu customer is came. So Telugu customer, what he want to do, he will also go to your shop and come to rack and he will directly go to partition P1 only. He was, okay, he doesn't go to search P2, he doesn't go to search P3. Suppose English customer will come to you. So partition P1 is not searching, P2 is not searching, and you are searching P3. So like this, what happened? Instead of searching entire the rack, now when we did your partitions, then we are searching a specific area only we can search. Now tell me, guys, here, now time saving or time consuming? Okay, tell me now, time saving or time consuming? Time saving. Why is a time saving means? Here, the advantage of customer is what now? There is no need to search entire the rack. If you're searching entire the rack, time consuming method. And it will be burden to customers, and your necessary whatever the language DVD you wanted, that will be slowly getting, that means performance also not that much fast. Okay, slow performance. So these are what, but searching entire the area, instead of searching entire the area, if you're searching a particular portion or a particular part, then automatically time saving, performance is very, very good, and no burden to users. Yes, sir. And quickly you can pick your required data from your location. Okay, now, so these kind of advantages are there when you did partitions. That's why this mass you can see everything will be partitions. Even though clothes room, so if you go to any clothes, are there like the South India shopping malls, Chennai shopping malls, if you go, they also maintain some partitions. So different models of dresses, there will be partitions. They will, that means they're keeping into different partitions, because customers also, they can easily go to take the required things, and even the sales boys also, they can easily understand which item where it is. Yes or no? So in such a cases, the both sides, the salesperson as well as customer, both are very happy to save their timings, to save their time. Yes or no? So no burden to sales boy or sales girl or sales boy. There is no burden, and even the customer also not getting any burden, because clearly it was mentioned. Yes, what you wanted, you can go to show it, and immediately your sales boy or sales girl will be showing that item to you. So this is what, how we can general language, general life in our day-to-day life, how we are going to discussing the partitions. Here also same thing, guys. Here, if you want to retrieve a particular data from your table, suppose your table is having 1 lakh rows are there in your table. Okay, na? So your table is having, there is 1 lakh rows are there in your table. Okay, but out of 1 lakh, okay, suppose this is your table. This is one of my table, EMP table, for example. So in EMP table, there are 1 lakh rows are there. So suppose out of this 1 lakh rows, I wanted some particular rows I wanted. If I want to take some particular rows from out of 1 lakh rows, then what happened? Your server will go to table and searching 1 lakh rows. That means entire the table, it will be searched. For your user required data purpose, your server will be searching entire the table. So searching entire the table automatically time consuming, and it was very burden on database servers, and database performance also very performance will be give it us. So instead of setting this entire the 1 lakh records, what the programmer will do, the first they will be divided your table into some partitions. Okay, divided into some partitions. Now total 1 lakh rows are there. So each partition, they will be kept like for example, year 20 records kept, year 30 records kept. Okay, so like this, they will be kept into some records into each partitions. Okay, they will be kept into some records into each partitions. So now what happens, searching instead of entire the table, searching your particular part of table or particular position, what we can say, the particular partition of a table, searching is very easy for your database server. And also user will also quickly get their information from the table. Okay, now, so same as this, how we can set, same in the table also we can. Okay, but how it was and what we can do, how we can partition, how we can access your required data. So the kind of things we will see in tomorrow's session, guys. So I will show you along with examples how to do partitions on my table, and later how we can store the data, and later how we can access the data. Okay, now, right, guys. So thank you so much, and we'll continue tomorrow.